Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and I have got some exclusive ESET UK Masters content coming out over the next couple of days, so make sure you stay tuned because I am going to be looking at the finalists, the grand finalists should I say, for the ESET UK Masters Season 1. I'm going to introduce our player first in the bottom right position, the blue Zerg, Minato, who plays for Team FX Open. He is pretty cool. He did very well to get here and is going to be coming to I-48 to have a go at winning some of that £10,000 prize pool. So make sure we keep an eye on him. His opponent this game on Star Station is the Red Terran in the top right, Graves. Now, I don't know if Graves is talking about the place where you put bodies, or if he's making a subtle reference to League of Legends. Either way, it's pretty cool in terms of a name. But let's talk about Minato, because he is our finalist after all. He got through, he got his seed in the first invitational qualifier. He was the first person, aside from Bling and Crass, who got through for being finalists in the previous event, to get a seed. He took down Damaga, Nama and Hasiwobs to secure his place. So a great up-and-comer, just 19 from Ukraine. He is a very solid guy indeed. Graves I don't actually know much about, so we'll wait to see what he throws. But it's going to be a ZvT. And that means that we can predict certain things, especially from Minato's side. It should be a hatch first into a 16 pool. Generally speaking, the majority of Zerg players are tending to favour the Roach Hydra style compositions in order to deal with the Hellbat tank forces that Terran often push with, and just the later game mech with Vipers, etc. But for the moment, Graves is going for a command center first as part of the wall off, rather than the gas openings we've been seeing a lot of Terrans try for. So that just means his economy is going to be better. We're definitely going to be going into the mid game, unless of course Minato decides to come and kill him too quick. Now, these spawn positions means Minato's third base will be the one over to the left. You never want to expand to towards your opponents, so that is all fine to see. And he's just getting everything we'd expect. The spawning pool is there, the hatchery is there, everything looking nice. So let me use this opportunity, this brief lull in the action, and just to set up to explain about ESET UK Masters. We will be holding grand finals on the 22nd to 25th of March 2013. It's being held at Insomnia 48, the UK's biggest gaming festival, and I will be casting it along with a couple of others. So make sure you tune in tune in live rather. And you can find all of the latest information on esetukmasters.com, on their Twitter and Facebook account, and also on mine. I'll be putting up loads of stuff while I'm there, so at Madals SC2 as well. So check those out. I've got more content coming out as well, exclusively from all of the finalists, to get an idea of who they are, how they play. Leave your predictions in the comments about what you reckon they'll be able to do, how well they will place in the tournament. Of course, there are still quite a few places up for grabs at the Bring Your Own Computer mini tournament beforehand, where I believe it's 12 players will be able to get a seed into the first round. So that is going to be very, very competitive, because a lot of people who may have hoped to get through weren't able to qualify through the online events directly, and therefore are probably going to be coming over to the Bring Your Own Computer to try and punch through there. And it's where you can get some upsets with some relatively lesser known players doing really well, but arguably Minato could be one of those lesser known players who got through in the online, so that is great to see. That SCV does get taken out, but did get a fairly decent scout off. Just came in, saw that the hatchery was down, and doesn't have to worry too much. Only thing he doesn't know is whether the gas was down, but if you see the hatchery there this early on, you can be fairly sure that it's not going to be. So what is Graves doing? 2 gas up, he's got the 1 racks, and now straight away into a third command center. So that third command center actually started before the gas, which just means that he is going to have an absolutely splendid economy and a marvelous mid-game situation to beat him. Minato, on the other hand, hasn't yet taken the third, so needs to either push quite aggressively, or he needs to take that third base fairly soon. But it is a difficult map to get the third up on, so that's what we're watching for. The barracks just completing the wall off there. We've got the factory coming in as well. Probably going to get a reactor on the barracks. There we go. So Hellions, maybe 1 or 2 Widow Mines. It depends whether Graves decides to go for mech, so the Hellion Hellbat tank composition, or whether instead he decides to go for something a bit more aggressive early on, such as Marine Marauder, Widow Mine and Medevac, which is a very strong composition actually. I've seen a lot of success from Terran players. Minato, this is somewhat of a trademark of this actually. He always gets down in the games I've seen this double evolution chamber and a lot of queens in order to wall off. He does it against Zerg and also against Terran. It stops Zerglings, Banelings, etc. getting in. It stops Hellions getting in. Just a really nice build. But Graves, using a scan, wants to get a read, sees the 2 gas coming coming up, doesn't yet know about the gas at the natural, so therefore could be questioning is it 2 or 4 gas. Does see the lair though, and because he sees the lair, he knows that actually it is definitely 4 gas. There's no way you can get 100 gas from those 2 guys instantly. We also have the Overlord running around for Minato. Just a very defensive position out of Graves at the moment, who, surprisingly, he doesn't get any Hellions out. Instead, he's just getting a Tech Lab straight away and building another factory direct on top. This is past the patch change, so Transformation Servos is an upgrade. You can't make Hellions into Hellbats without upgrading that first, and it requires the Armory and also 150 gas and minerals. So, something to look out for. Another factory being added on, so this is a mech style play, another reactor, so potentially an awful lot of Hellions coming out, and that is exactly what we're going to be seeing now. Hellions and tanks, no armory yet, which means you could produce Hellbats, just can't morph them. And Minato, well, he's decided to prove me wrong and say, do you know what, I'm not going to take that base to the left, it's too far away, it's a bit vulnerable to some tank pushes, so I'm just going to expand towards my opponent, because do you know what, my creep spread is incredible, I feel fine doing that. The SCV comes in, those scouts are down, double armory coming down as well now for Graves, so he could potentially try and get those transformation servo upgrades on the way. There's nothing else you really have to research from the tech lab early on, because there's no siege mode upgrade anymore, which just means that it's actually pretty viable. With the second factory going on to reactor, it really seems like there could be an awful lot of Hellions coming out now, or at least some additional Widow Mines as well. As we're seeing though, Hydrogen on its way, Roach is already in production, that's good. Roach speed and the 1-1 missile attack upgrades for our Zerg player. No upgrade started yet for Graves, even though he has just finished one of those armories. The second armory is about to complete now, and there we go, sees that. And there is the transformation servos upgrades, so it's going to be a Hellbat tank push coming in. It is very good. No damage has been done yet, and the third orbit command now just getting taken. And this just means that Graves can start moving forward more, using the siege tanks on the high ground in order to help defend it. And he should be fine. Also getting up an awful lot of factories. This is a crazy high number of factories coming out, so that just means a lot of production for Graves. He could go for the push earlier on, we'll wait to see, but with the 1-1 vehicle weapons on their way, with the 1-1 missile attack and armor already complete for Minato, he's in a good spot, and with that muscular augment upgrade for Hydralisks, he should be fine moving across the map and trying to put on a little bit of pressure towards the third of Graves. Now, Minato, his creep spread is also incredible. His basic mechanics, I've got to say, are astoundingly good. His creep spread every game, absolutely stunning from these extra queens, always spreading out in every direction. He's taking his fourth base as well, which is nice. His injects always hit perfectly. He just spends his money quite well. He spends his love well. Some Hellions are pushing forward though, and those queens are not in a fun time when they are trying to engage this many Hellions all at once. But some good damage being done. The Roaches coming in as well now will force those Hellions back, and actually quite a lot did go down there in the end, so trying to engage the Queens head on with Hellions is not always the best plan. They do have transformation servos, so they are able to become Hellbats now, but just really getting rid of some of the money. And there we go, a lot of Hellbats morphing in. Suddenly these Roaches are not going to have quite such an easy time against them. Hellbats with a lot more health and deal a lot more damage. The fourth command center is now in production. We also have the engineering bay coming out, so this is just fairly normal play. The additional factories with more tech labs on, getting more tanks out, some Thors out as well, just in case there were any mutas, but there's not for the time being. Minato, he is just happily spreading creep, getting Roach Hydra out, his 2-2 upgrades, Groove Spines, and the Hive as well. And the Hive is quite the interesting thing, because that is really where actually you can start getting Vipers out, you can start looking to get Ultras out as well. Vipers are a good composition against meching Terran, because you can use Blinding Cloud on the siege tanks to negate their damage, and that just really works very effectively. This mass swarm of Hellions is coming down towards the fourth base though. There's 20 on the field, so absolutely a huge number there. The fourth base is up and running, and if they morph into Hellbats, they'll actually be able to take out that hatchery. The Roaches though coming in, the Hydras coming in, that will force the Hellions to run away. Much more mobile in Hellion mode as opposed to Hellbat mode, so that's why we're seeing Graves just keep them that way, trying to poke in, deal harassment damage as opposed to a head-on engagement. Down at Minato's base, he is nearly complete with the 2-2 upgrades. 2-2 starting now for Minato. Infernal Pre-Igniters, also known as Blue Flame, on its way down for Graves as well. But Minato with a slight supply advantage. The creep spread is just still incredible. And really Graves, he's scared to move forward. He has cleaned out some of the creep now and pushed it back. And that's okay, but there's creep tumors coming off the other way as well. So what are these Hellions going to be able to do? There are some drones there, and there's just so many Hellions coming in. If these drones survive, it would be an absolute miracle, because they are just going to get slaughtered. It is a barbecue party at the fourth, but Roaches coming in, they will clean out quite a lot of this. They will kill a lot of Hellions there. And how many workers were killed. Well, 10 got taken out, but a lot of Hellions died, so Graves actually losing more there, but did economical damage, which makes it a bit more worthwhile. Work account Minato with 83 drones to 63 SCVs. He can afford to lose that, but with the 4th base up and running now for Graves as well, with the 5th base on the way, Minato is on equal bases and therefore needs to look to take a few more. We've got Vipers coming out, so those are going to be consuming stuff, I have no doubt, in order to get up their energy, in order to cast Blinding Cloud or Abduct, etc. But as we can see, this Roach Hydra Force moving up towards the Planetary Fortress and is saying, no, you are not having a 4th base, and Graves gets it sniped down before he can even move, but he does have some Hellions pushing in towards the 4th and 3rd base of Minato, and there's no defense at the 3rd, so nearly all of these drones will go down. Blue Flame is done, so just so much damage able to be achieved here, and this is really quite painful to watch. The Roaches, the Hydras are trying to get back. A couple of drones did run away. The Spine Crawlers stopping quite a bit of the pain there, but the natural base is getting roasted. The main base gonna get roasted as well, and I am actually scared to look at the Workers kill count. We will wait until the end to see just how many, but I am seeing drones are roasting everywhere. Minato must have lost a huge number, and 55 are dead, but Minato, the droning beast he is, has already got equal drones as his opponent, even after that, and he killed a 4th base, so actually he's a base up, he's got good production, he can get those drones back quite nicely, and the big problem for Graves is he's completely broke in terms of gas, whereas Minato, he's got a good steady income. Some Widow Mines are coming out, they're a good complement to the mech forces, it just helps you zone even better, deal a bit of burst damage quite quickly. And now we see that Graves is pushing forward Minato. He's got to get in a good position. Those Vipers do have full energy, so will he go for the Blinding Clouds? He should. There's a lot of tanks there, and some good Blinding Clouds over Siege tanks make them completely useless and allow the Roaches and Hydras to come in. But Graves, he's retreating as quickly as he can. Maybe some Abducts could go down. The Widow Mines desperately trying to burrow as fast as possible. And here goes some detonations, but Blinding Clouds going down on pretty much everything, preventing those Siege tanks from being able to siege up and do any damage at all. Great play by Minato, really mastering that Blinding Cloud there, and he's pushing through, and all of Graves' army is dying while doing essentially nothing. This was such a good engagement for the Zerg player, and it looks like he is going to be able to go on and win this game. Graves would have to have the most miracle defense ever. 18 more Roaches following this up. The 3-3 missile attack and armor upgrades coming down, and this Roach Hydra Viper composition looks oh so strong against Terran. They really struggle with dealing with it, but as we can see, the Hellions getting taken out, the natural base losing an awful lot of workers, Minato avenging all the drones that died to the Hellions, the Hydras dealing some nice damage there as well. Blue units streaming across the map, the Widow Mines getting taken out, the tanks getting taken out as they pop, and that just means Graves now under 100 supply to the maxed out Minato. He should win. I'm expecting the GG momentarily, and there we go. And as such, Minato was victorious. So everyone, remember, if you did enjoy this, thumbs up the video, leave a cool comment, let us know what you think, how Minato is going to do in the grand finals if you'll be rooting for him. Get over to the Team Liquid thread as well to see all of the other ESET grand final hype videos, and yeah, just share your opinions there. Check out all the ESET social medias, check out my social medias as well if you like me as a caster, and I will see you all on the 22nd to 25th of March, either in person at Insomnia 48 or on the live streams. Make sure you tune in, it would be great to see you, there's going to be some great action. I'm Madals, thanks for watching, and see you very soon. Bye for now.